Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 11 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got news out of Grimesland where a man is now facing child sex crimes that date back decades. 84-year-old Vernon Sadler Jr. was arrested by Pitt County deputies yesterday afternoon. He's been charged with 18 counts of indecent liberties with a child out of Pitt County. Sadler has also been charged with 5 counts of indecent liberties with a child in Beaufort County. Warrants say one of the offenses dates back to 1997, with several offenses spanning back decades, with the last report in 2013. Sadler was taken to the Pitt County Jail, and he was jailed under a $750,000 bond. Of course, we also want to, again, touch base with Tom Costello, who has more on the massive plane crash and explosion that happened at the airport in Louisville.
This morning, new video shows the moment that UPS Flight 2976 crashed. And now crash investigators are working through the debris field that stretches over a half mile. These pictures showing the scale of the damage.
It's like a scene out of a Terminator movie.
Leaving a scar across the airport grounds and the impacted businesses nearby. A stark reminder of the force of that explosion. Caught on multiple cameras as the cargo jet bound for Honolulu went down shortly after takeoff Tuesday afternoon. The NTSB says all of the videos and photos are vital to piecing together what went wrong. A crucial discovery, the plane's left engine separating from the aircraft just seconds before impact and landing between 2 runways.
Oh my God!
The plane's cockpit voice and flight data recorders, the black boxes, recovered from the smoldering wreckage and now on their way to Washington for analysis.
Can you describe the physical condition, what you saw, how those black boxes actually look?
While the fire may have been intense, it is built to withstand that.
As investigators dig into the data, what's left of the plane on the ground should ultimately reveal what happened.
The wreckage will talk to you. The wreckage will tell you a lot about what happened.
The 3 pilots on board did not survive. UPS's CEO calling it a tragic accident in a note to employees, adding the company is heartbroken but united behind the victims as the NTSB begins its long investigation to find answers for the families left behind.
They deserve the facts, they deserve the truth, they deserve our best, they deserve to know what happened.
And again, that was Tom Costello reporting. We now want to turn to your weather forecast. Everything looking beautiful and sunny across eastern North Carolina today, but because we're looking at a northeasterly wind flow across the area today, air temperatures probably not going to be getting quite as warm as where we were yesterday. Hopefully you enjoyed the 70s. They're coming back tomorrow. This won't be here today. Today, it's going to be a slow warm up. Right now, we're kind of sitting around the low to mid 60s, 63 degrees in Washington, northerly wind at 12 miles an hour. But dew points down in the mid to low 30s. It's been a fairly dry air mass set up over us, and that's allowed air temperatures to warm up and cool off quickly. Problem is, air temperatures not heating up quickly today. A lot of that has to do, again, with the northeasterly winds that will continue throughout the area today, but it's tomorrow that's going to bring about that change. Again, we keep talking about changing winds, and whenever you've got a southerly wind, you're going to get more heat and more warmth, and that's what's coming up over the weekend. We're looking right now, northeasterly winds, but here's what happens later on today. Those winds are going to swing around to the southeast later on tonight. They'll be coming out of the southeast early tomorrow morning and the southwest by tomorrow evening. So long as we've got a southerly component to those winds, they will bring warmer air to eastern North Carolina. So overnight tonight, yeah, it's going to be getting chilly, but at least we've got, again, our sights set on the low to mid 70s coming up for tomorrow. Today, not the case. 65 degrees for your high coming up this afternoon. Again, right now, most of us generally between around 62 to around 65, and that's pretty much where we're going to stay. Now, would it shock me if we had a few areas jump up to around maybe 66, 67 degrees? I wouldn't really consider that a jump, but yeah, it's certainly a possibility. I don't think we're looking at widespread numbers higher than 67, but it again will be a chilly evening tonight. That will drop air temperatures all the way down into the low 40s by tomorrow morning. Then we get to enjoy a little bit more heat as we wrap up the week. And it's going to be nice because coming up next week, air temperatures are going to drop off and do so quickly. This is, I don't want to say our last taste of some at least summertime-esque heat, but we've got winter knocking on the door, and it will be present coming up next week with air temperatures dropping down near freezing. So moral of the story, take advantage of the 70s while they are here, especially when they come with low humidity. Here's kind of a big picture look at what we've got coming up. High pressure for today will keep us sunny today and tomorrow, but it's that system you're seeing back towards the Dakotas and Montana that really has our number. That's what's really going to push in a lot of that colder air along that frontal boundary you're seeing there drift across the state early Saturday morning. That again will be crossing over eastern North Carolina on Sunday, fully giving us that big blast of cold air coming in Monday and Tuesday. There you can see that cold air drifting down southward, moving across Kentucky, Tennessee, even into northern Alabama, northern Georgia, South Carolina feeling that chill. All of that cold air is going to dip far enough south to make it around the mountains and then into eastern North Carolina. That's usually, the mountains usually provide us a nice protection from some of that colder air. Not going to be the case this go round. We again are looking at very cold conditions coming up for next week. In fact, if we had been in late December or January or February with maybe a little bit of moisture trailing this system, we could be talking about snow. But ground temperatures, again, way too warm to get even close to that, and we don't have the moisture. But we will have the chill coming up next week. It will be warming up over the tail end of next week. But for the start, Monday, Tuesday, and certainly for the start of Wednesday, get ready for some cold temperatures. Jacket weather on the way. We've got showers and thunderstorms planned for Sunday. May see a few drops coming in on Saturday, but for most of the weekend, again, it's Sunday that's going to be the wet one. Looking at Monday, 51-degree air temps. Quite a change from near 80-degree temps we'll see on Sunday. And then Veterans Day, 48. Not going to make it to 50 degrees on Veterans Day. It is going to be a chilly one, but of course, all attention being paid, not of course just to Sunday, but also Monday night into Tuesday morning. Overnight low is going to be dipping down below freezing throughout many inland areas. If you're watching along the coast, you may end up in the mid-30s, but a little bit off the coast, you again are looking at freezing to sub-freezing conditions. We will warm up, but that could catch some people by surprise if you're snoozing through this forecast. Well, that's all we have time for today's 11 a.m. News and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, have a fantastic rest of your Thursday.